Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Boardmasters with me, Chris Mullins. And today I will be doing my review on Castle Panic. And we did a playthrough of this as a family on the channel last week, so I'll link to that down below in the description. And we'll just dive into the review now. So as always with them, I have the 5 standard categories that I do for all my reviews. So we've got the art style and theme, component quality, the accessibility, the replayability, and the gameplay. So if we start with the art style and theme, the art style is nice, it's fine. It's, again, like a lot of the games I've reviewed recently, it doesn't harm the game in any way. It's not something that I particularly love. It does the job, and it is what it is. It's okay. In terms of the theme, I do love the theme. I mean, as a sort of Tolkien fan, and obviously Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and things like that, any game that links into knights and heroes fighting off hordes of goblins and orcs is going to be a theme that I enjoy and a theme that I invest in. So I really like the theme on it. In terms of the component quality, similar to the art style, really, it's fine. It's good for the price point. Again, it's not an expensive game, so you're not going to be expecting wonderful minis, which is something I would actually love for this game. It's one of the first things I said to my wife after we played the first time was how much I would love a version with minis. And, I did an unboxing of Village Attacks on the channel recently, and one of the main reasons why I bought that was because it basically had the look and the feel of a Castle Panic with minis, so it's definitely something I would like. But again, for the price point in this version, it's fine. The quality of everything that is in there is okay. The standees of the towers and everything work perfectly well, and I like the way that when you fortify a wall, you hang a little token over the side. But yeah, it's not going to win stunning marks for its component quality, but it is fine and it does the job and it's good. In terms of the accessibility, it's going to really shine here. For all regards, as I've already mentioned, it's a reasonably priced game, so there's no real gateway or hurdle to overcome in that regard. Similarly with the setup and teardown time, it's something that's very quick to get to the table, which helps. And obviously we played the game with my 7-year-old son, so it's not a game that's overly complicated or hard to learn. I think the fact that it's cooperative is a big advantage as well, because it's a lot easier to help someone out and help them learn the rules if you're working together as a team. It just complements that style of gameplay really, really well. So it's definitely one that I would recommend if you've got children. I know there is a My First Castle Panic, which I think is even more, well, obviously it's aimed to be the gateway game for young children, so that may be aimed towards children that are more 4 or 5 years old, whereas this I think is perfectly fine when they're around. Well, my son's 7, as I said, and he has no problems with the game at all. But obviously that may vary per child, because obviously it's not an age rating as such, it's more what they can cope with themselves. But it is very, very easy to pick up and learn. In terms of the replayability, it's good, because I mean there will be a lot of variety to your gameplays. So obviously the cards that you draw are going to be random, and also the monster tokens that you draw are randomized, so every game's going to be different from that perspective, so that adds replayability to it. We've had games where like the hero monsters have all come out at times that were really beneficial to us. Like there are ones that move monsters in, and we drew that when there were no other monsters, so nothing moved. And there are ones that heal monsters that have taken damage, and that's come in when no monsters are damaged. So the monster deck didn't benefit from them, but we did. Whereas in the gameplay, if you've watched that, you will know that a couple of the monster heroes and the boulders and other things did a lot of damage to us and really hurt us. So yeah, each game will always be different. So similar to Jumanji in terms of the replayability, will be massively influenced by how much mileage you get out of enjoying the core gameplay mechanic in terms of the tower defense. As long as you enjoy that, you'll enjoy this game. There are a number of expansions as well, which I know Alex is really keen for us to dive into, and I'm looking at picking those up at some point in the future, but obviously that will add lots more replayability as well, but obviously at an additional cost. And then finally, the gameplay. We love it. We really enjoy it. Tower defense, I think, is a really fun mechanic, because similar to Jumanji in terms of the time dice rolling, tower defense just naturally builds that sort of panic and tension as a natural consequence of the gameplay, because these monsters keep coming, you don't get a break, you don't get a breather, you are always feeling like you're on the verge of being overwhelmed and fighting back this horde, and that's something that I really enjoy, and certainly Alex and Stace seem to enjoy that as well. In terms of the difficulty, that was something that Ni no Kuni lost a little bit of marks for me, because it had much of the same positive points as this, but we've won every game that we've played of it, so it almost feels like as long as you're doing a competent job, you will win. Whereas this one, obviously, we've lost, we've won, and having that element of jeopardy that you can lose really adds to the enjoyment of the game for me. I really want to feel like you can lose the game. It's not just a stroll in the park, and this does have that, which is a big plus point for me. And so yeah, a big win in the gameplay category as well. And in terms of the overall score for me, I think it is going to get extra points ahead of Jumanji and Ni no Kuni for that extra added difficulty, as well as the other plus points that I've raised so far. So I'm going to give Castle Panic an 8 out of 10, particularly if you have children. Again, it's going to be dependent on your group and who you're playing with. If it's a fantastic gateway game, it's a fantastic game if you have children. If you're buying it to play with an experienced group of gamers on your gaming night, I wouldn't recommend it necessarily for that. There are going to be more advanced games that are probably more suited, but it's just a case of targeting what's great for your group. And as I said, if you have children or people that you're introducing to the hobby or tower defense as a mechanic, then Castle Panic is a big win in that regard for me. And that's pretty much everything I need to say on Castle Panic, I think, so I'll leave it there. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that's informative for you, and I hope you look after yourself, stay safe, and have a good one. Thank you. Bye bye now.